We're making an old style commentary video today because I got a few things to talk about, but one big overarching theme. I just finished playing a set with Juices, and I learned something about myself. I learned something pretty big about myself, and I think a lot of you could benefit from this story. The set pretty much started out as usual. When I play anybody of this caliber, they're usually just picking whatever character they want to play, and they're destroying me, right? Like, it's not... it's close sometimes, but really it's not. You know, usually the games that I'm winning is because they're trying something new. And there are some advantages to, playing people way better than you. You know, you stop caring about wins. You start to understand that there's so much more to learn, and I don't know, like, you just want to get better because you want to get that much closer to where they're at, and you want to surpass them someday, right? It might sound silly or ridiculous to say, but you're doing it all in an effort to someday surpass these people that are destroying you, right? You want to be the best that you can. At least I do. I know some people don't think like that. Some people just want to be decent. But, you know, for once in my life, I want to be good at something, okay? And I'm not embarrassed to admit that. Hey, real quick, I just want to let you know, I'm trying to hit 10,000 subs before Street Fighter 6 comes out. I know that means I have to double my subscriber count in the next 2 to 3 months, which is a really hard thing to do, but there's no reason not to try. So if you end up enjoying by the end of this video, please consider subscribing. Anyways, the first set comes and goes, right? First to 3 comes and goes. I'm playing Cammy, he's playing Ryu, and I took a second, right? We went back to the lobby, and I messaged him, and I said, give me a second. I want to take some notes, because I feel like I've made sort of a breakthrough in my head. And you'll notice the further and further you get into fighting games, the less and less you have these breakthrough moments, right? You start to improve less drastically and more incrementally. So when you do have like these rare breakthrough moments, I will drop everything and just write it down. Like, I'll write down how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking about in that moment so I can go back to it in case I ever forget. And so I open up my little Discord chat that's just me, and I go to my notes channel and I write, my strengths lie in my reactions. I don't know where that came from, and I don't really know what that means in the moment. It just came to me, like mid-game. I just went in there, and I had to write that down. And then to elaborate on it, I put underneath, play to your strengths and trust your reactions, and the rest might fall into place. Keyword being might. I don't know. And when you come up with a hypothesis like this, you have to test it. You have to experiment and figure out if what you think is true is actually true. And so usually when I play sets with Jesus and Austin and stuff, they're the ones experimenting, right? I'm playing my heart out. I'm sweating buckets, trying to get around. And these guys are just, trying new ideas and stuff like that. So this time I wanted to flip the script. I don't really know if Juices was trying anything new or if he was just trying to help me out. But I wanted to try something out today, and I wanted to do my own little experiment. So I said to myself, I'm going to load into this next set, and I'm going to play to my strengths. And I know some people are really good at reading their opponents. Some people do so much lab work that they know how to beat every single situation. For me, I feel like my strengths lie in my reactions, and I felt like if I play to that strength, then all of that other stuff I need, like being able to read my opponent and what they might do afterwards, would just find its way to me naturally. I wouldn't have to sit around in neutral and think about every single move that the opponent is going to do. But I have to be very careful not to play to one extreme, like playing a completely reactionary game again or playing a completely preemptive game again. I wanted to find a happy middle, a balance. And luckily, I have played to both extremes. I've played a completely reactionary game, I've played a completely preemptive game, and I feel like my brain can make those connections that it needs to now. A really good example of it that I felt whenever I was playing is I would go to confirm a crouch medium kick, and Juices would block it, and then he'd take a step back, or he'd go to backdash or something, and my brain automatically, without having to think about it or tell myself what did he do after he blocked the crouch medium kick, I just said, oh, he's going to move backwards. I'm just going to press crouch medium kick twice and see if it hits. And it did hit a few times. That's a really good example of my reactionary game leading to a preemptive action. That was a big step for me today. I kind of got ahead of myself there, but I loaded into that second set after those notes that I wrote and what I talked about, and I did my little experiment. And immediately, I felt much more comfortable, moving around the stage and like throwing buttons out and actually throwing them out with meaning and knowing that if it hits, I will be ready to confirm off of it or to convert off of it. And I know if he whiffs a button right here, I'm ready to react to that. Is it 100%? No. It might never be 100%. You will never fully master a game like this, but you can get fucking close, right? And today we got a little bit closer. Scoreline-wise, whatever, right? The set count might not look like we did anything crazy today, but I'm very happy with the sets that I've played. Up to a point, you know, we played a lot of sets, and at some point, I just get diminishing returns. Like, mentally I get fatigued, I get a little irritated, and I start playing worse. But this set in particular, that first set against Juice's Ryu, I felt like I made some great strides. The real challenge, though, is taking that, like, reaction and preemptive mix that I'm kind of conjuring up online and not getting angry when my reactions inevitably betray me in like a rollback situation. Because the way that online functions, especially in the presence of bad netcode, is that it makes you want to play a little bit more preemptively because you're scared that you're going to press that crouch medium kick, it's going to roll back, and you're going to be like spiral arrow minus 25 right in somebody's face, and you're going to lose the match. So you start playing a little bit more scared, you start playing a little bit more preemptive, and throwing out random buttons and trying to buffer off of them. Online genuinely does change how you view the game and how you play a little bit. You have to you have to like tell yourself you're not going to play for online, you're just going to play to like get better, or you're going to play the game that you know is correct, and if the online screws you over, you have to stick to it, because it's so easy to fall into the trap of fuck it, I'm just going to play for V-Trigger and I'm going to random this guy out, and then that turns into something you do every single game. Like, you just forget how to play footsies, you don't want to do any of that anymore, you just want to win. And I mean, if ranked points are all you're after, then that's fine, but the moment you enter a tournament and you start playing like that, you run into somebody that's genuinely good and they know how to stop you from doing all this garbage, it's gonna feel that much worse, you know? Like, you are building yourself up on a pile of sticks and somebody's gonna come and kick that shit down. And that's why I continue to play against people who are way better than me a lot. You know, the more your the more your twigs get kicked over, the stronger the foundation you build back becomes. Ideally, right? Sometimes that's not true. Sometimes you just get angry and then you don't change your ways at all. I'm not trying to roast anybody. I'm speaking from experience. You know, I get very stubborn sometimes. I get very angry, very irritated, and I don't understand why things aren't going my way. And it's so much easier to just get angry about it and blame the game than it is to, like, go into the lab and figure it out, or watch a replay, or watch somebody else's replay. It's tough. I mean, how many years have I been playing this game at this point? Like 3, right? I've been playing this game for like 3 years, and I'm just now realizing what my strength is. This video should have been made a year and a half ago, right? It's crazy that I played this game for so long and I'm now realizing what my strength is and how I want to use it. I guess this is kind of what people mean when they say it just takes time. You know, I had to go from one extreme to the next before I realized that I need to find somewhere in the middle that incorporates my like overarching strength, you know, the thing that I feel like I'm the best at, with something that I'm not particularly good at, but I've practiced a lot. You know, that is one of the benefits of playing from one extreme to the next, is that I have a lot of practice playing a preemptive game and trying to read my opponent, and now I feel like I can bring it together. I felt like in that set with Juices, I was hitting a stride and I was getting somewhere, but after that set, when he switched characters, I kind of lost a little bit, right? My mental kind of went in the dumps, and I lost it. But we'll get it back, right? I just got to go on and play some more games and figure it out. It's not that I'm chasing a shadow of my former self. I'm trying to develop a new playstyle that fits me, that fits how I like to play the game and how I see the game. Anyways, I hope this wasn't 8 minutes of fucking gibberish, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you again very soon.